Ethan Grayson was a man who carried his values with pride. A devoted father and former Marine, he had recently been hired as the new principal of Green Valley High School, a position he accepted to make a difference in the community. His calm demeanor and unshakable belief in fairness made him a respected figure wherever he went. However, Ethan's love for his country and his decision to wear a MAGA hat occasionally didn't always sit well with everyone. His son, Jake, was a bright and eager ninth grader. Jake had his father's determination and kindness, but starting at a new school always came with challenges, especially since his dad was now the principal. Jake was excited yet nervous, knowing he'd be under a lot of scrutiny from teachers and students alike. Lauren was a history teacher at Green Valley High School. She was passionate, outspoken, and had very strong political beliefs. She saw herself as an advocate for justice and fairness, but her fiery opinions sometimes clouded her judgment. When she saw Ethan Grayson walking through the school halls for the first time, wearing his signature red MAGA hat, she immediately made up her mind about him. To her, that hat symbolized values she couldn't align with. On Jake's first day in Miss Harper's class, things quickly took a turn. Jake entered the room with a warm smile, hoping to make a good impression. "Good morning, Miss Harper," he said politely. Lauren barely acknowledged him, her lips pressing into a thin line. As the class went on, Jake tried to participate, raising his hand to answer questions and contribute to discussions. Each time, Miss Harper either ignored him or cut him off quickly. The other students began to notice, whispering to each other. By lunchtime, Jake's shoulders sagged under the weight of embarrassment. That evening, Ethan noticed Jake was unusually quiet at dinner. "Everything okay, buddy?" Ethan asked, his voice filled with concern. Jake hesitated. "It's fine, Dad. Just a weird first day." Ethan didn't push further but made a mental note to keep an eye on things. Over the next few days, Miss Harper's behavior became more apparent. She criticized Jake for minor mistakes, marked his assignments unfairly, and once even sent him to the principal's office for what seemed like no reason. Ironically, she didn't know that the principal she sent him to was his own father. Ethan, still unaware of the full story, noticed a pattern in Jake's demeanor. "Jake, you need to tell me what's going on," he said firmly one evening. "Dad, it's Miss Harper. She hates me," Jake finally confessed, his voice breaking. "I think it's because of you." Ethan's brow furrowed. "Because of me? What do you mean?" "It's the hat, Dad. She's always making comments about people like you. She treats me like I'm the enemy." Ethan's jaw tightened, but he remained calm. "All right, Jake, I'll handle this." The next day, Ethan attended one of Miss Harper's classes unannounced. He stood quietly in the back, observing. It didn't take long for him to see her dismissive tone toward Jake, the way she called on everyone else but him, and the subtle sarcasm in her remarks. After class, Ethan approached her. "Miss Harper, could we have a word in my office?" Lauren's face flushed. She nodded, following him reluctantly. Once they were seated, Ethan began. "Miss Harper, I've noticed some troubling behavior in your classroom, particularly toward my son, Jake." Lauren crossed her arms defensively. "With all due respect, Mr. Grayson, I teach all my students equally." Ethan leaned forward slightly, his gaze steady. "Do you? Because from where I'm standing, it seems like you've singled him out. Is there a reason for that?" Lauren hesitated, then finally spoke. "Look, Mr. Grayson, I don't think someone who supports what that hat stands for should be leading this school. And frankly, I don't think your son belongs in my class if he shares those values." Ethan took a deep breath, choosing his words carefully. "Miss Harper, that hat represents my belief in the importance of America's values and opportunities for everyone. You don't have to agree with me, but your personal feelings should never affect how you treat a student, especially not my son." Lauren opened her mouth to protest, but Ethan held up a hand. "And for the record, I believe in leading with integrity and fairness. If you can't uphold those principles, then perhaps this isn't the right place for you." The conversation left Lauren stunned. She had never considered how her actions might affect a student's well-being. Over the following weeks, she made an effort to change. She apologized to Jake and began treating him like any other student. For Jake, things started to improve. He thrived under Miss Harper's new approach and even developed a surprising respect for her as a teacher. Ethan, meanwhile, continued to lead the school with fairness, earning the trust of staff and students alike. And Lauren? She learned an important lesson. Judging someone based on appearances or assumptions is a mistake she'd never make again. This experience transformed her, and she became one of the most beloved teachers at Green Valley High School, a place where everyone, regardless of their background or beliefs, was given a fair chance to succeed. That's the story, friends. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a pleasure sharing it with you all. Don't forget to comment below and let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see the global reach of these stories. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button for more amazing stories, tips, and tricks. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.